From the start, the attacks have been focused on me. Trying to break through my defenses? I see. There. I got it back.
Traveler! Skirk! What happened? It looked like Skirk just got...
In the Guili Plains, you asked me why this enemy chose you as his target. Now, the answer is clear. It's not just the fact that your strength is impressive. It's also because of your ability to, as you put it, purify abyssal power. Whatever that actually means. The fact is, that ability allowed him to do something that should have been completely impossible. Namely, break through my defenses and steal my power. No, he couldn't have known I'd come to his domain. He only stole your soul fragment because he knew the value of its power. I doubt he expected it to come in handy so soon. Call it fate, if you want. I believe that's the term they use in this world for arbitrary coincidences like this. In any case, it works to our advantage. Once I realized what he was using that power for, it gave me the chance to get back what you lost. I'll cope. Well, done gorging? Good. Time to answer some questions. How did you get the power of the all-devouring narwhal?
The all-devouring narwhal? Oh, of course! Paimon knew that spike thing looked familiar. It looks just like that narwhal's horn!
I highly doubt you acquired that power through your own strength. Tell me I'm wrong. You're desperate enough to scour the land for god remains and whatever vestiges of power you can find. That alone proves you wouldn't be able to defeat a creature like that. Which leaves one possibility. You know my master, the Foul, Surtalogi.
The Foul? Who dares call him Foul? Surtalogi.
What's wrong? Bit off more power than you can chew? You're struggling to hold a basic conversation.
Just a little longer. I'm still...
Look! It's back!
Those obsessed with power will let it devour them before abandoning their pursuit. Keep calm and use reason to decide the best course of action. Wise decision. Final victory doesn't always come after a single battle. You've got your soul fragment back, so we both got what we came for. Let the enemy draw breath while he can. It won't be for long. Get us out of here, Traveler. You'll need to lead the way this time.
You now have what it takes to wield immense power. From this day forth, I shall teach you no more. No one can become a worthy warrior through imitation alone. I have given you fangs and claws. Now, you must learn to hunt.
You wish me to travel the world beyond on my own, Master?
Indeed. Make new friends. Embark on your own journey. And piece together a new future from the shattered remnants of your past. We will still have contact through the abyss. But know this. One day, I will take the life you worked so hard to rebuild and reduce it to ashes. Just like the fire that haunts your mind.
Why do you do that?
I have told you before, fear is the catalyst for human evolution. You have tasted loss. You have known fear, so deep it can be felt in the bones. But as living beings, we all have an instinct to detach from that which harms us. And thus pain dampens over time, and the acrid taste of fear becomes but a distant memory. Yet now, I have bestowed upon you the gift of fear eternal. It will drown you in the nightmare of your childhood, or it shall drive you to defeat me, whatever the cost.
That is what Skirk's master, the foul Surtalogi, looked like at one point in time. Of course, as a higher being, physical form is a triviality to him. He could appear as a beast, a human, or even a monster that defies description. The form you see him in here, clad in abyssal armor, is the one he usually wears when traveling through the stars.
For certain reasons, I need to bridge the power gap between me and my master as quickly as possible. But first, I need to understand the source of his strength. To do that, I need to follow in his footsteps, walk the path he once walked, and somewhere along the way, I'll find out how to defeat him. That is my sole focus and purpose.
I'll let you in on a little secret. The real Surtalogi is terrifying. The scope of his power is impossible to understand until you experience it firsthand. It is absolute, the power to crush all things. The fog is gone! Wait, isn't that the form the all-devouring narwhal changed into? How come he knows? Really? So, you're telling Paimon that giant whale and this guy can both turn into the fowl? How does that work?
It's a subconscious instinct. Any intelligent being who longs for his level of strength is bound to mimic his appearance. It's a natural response after encountering someone as powerful as Master. To them, he represents ultimate power. We know the person before us has encountered Master, and we know he stole a portion of my power. So it's not surprising that he would assume this form.
Okay. Oh, the closer Paimon looks, the more intimidating it gets. Nervalette isn't here this time, so it's up to us. He won't have the nerve to steal again after we're done with him. Let's teach this guy a lesson.
haven't had enough of my power. Well then, let's see how much more of this power you can handle. Well, have you come to your senses?
You saw that my body was at its limit. So, you deliberately channeled your power into me, knowing that it would destroy my shell from within. Such power, such keen battle instincts. So you must be...
Skirk, Surtalogi's disciple.
How long has it been? How long has he been away from Tevat?
Hundreds of years.
Hundreds? Sorry, it's a lot to take in. I should introduce myself. I am Skofnungar, a friend of your master and one of his followers. This is the first time I've heard your name, Skirk. But hundreds of years ago, I knew you existed. And I knew you would come here.
Hundreds of years ago?
Sounds like you and Master have quite the history. Care to tell us about it?
Of course. Might as well take advantage of a clear head while I can. The story starts a long, long time ago. I was born into a noble family in Conria. As the eldest son, I was set to inherit our title. But I contracted an incurable illness as a child, and everyone gave up on me. I trained the sword harder than anyone else, defeated all of my peers. But it was all in vain. When other people looked at me, all I saw in their eyes was pity, or a strange glee in my misfortune. Even my parents were just waiting for me to die. Over time, my heart hardened, and I became aimless. That was the point where I met your master, Surtalogi. We were similar in age, but different in background. He was born in prison, the son of criminals who had been sentenced to death. He spent his childhood wandering the streets, facing more criticism than the literary works in the Universitas Magistrorum. Yet, he always wore a smile on his face, as if kindness and malice were one and the same, and he could not see the difference. I still remember what he said to me when we first met. You need to fight to survive. Even if it's a losing battle, it should light a fire under you. How can you sit back like this and go down without a fight?
That does sound like something he would say.
He was the first to acknowledge that I was worth something, and he inspired me to keep going. When we sparred together, It was the first time I'd actually felt the thrill of combat. When I was 10, he stole forbidden research materials and managed to cure my illness. It was like there was nothing in this world he couldn't accomplish. When it came to the human form, he was always intent on pushing the boundaries of possibility. But somewhere along the way, I fell behind. My talents were nothing compared to his, and at some point, I realized he had pulled so far ahead, I was too embarrassed to even ask him to spar. After his grand endeavor was successful, he sought me out and said to me,
"This planet no longer holds anything of interest to me, so I'm leaving. But first, I have an offer. I can use a power I have just refined to break the curse of immortality for you. Your death was once what we worked so hard to prevent. But the immortality you now face is a different kind of pain altogether."
I'll pass. Immortality doesn't sound so bad to me. Since I can't die, it means I have an infinite amount of time to get stronger. Maybe I'll finally catch up to you one day, and we can spar like we used to.
Are you sure? I cannot say when I will return. Your body, or rather, your soul, might not be able to withstand this curse.
All I can do is try. After all, a wise man once told me, people need to fight for their own survival.
Wise indeed. Nevertheless, if you grow weary of the pain of immortality, and wish to experience a good sparring match before you wither away, seek out my disciple.
Disciple? Never thought I'd hear that word coming from you.
Nor I, but Vedifenir said I was destined to find a disciple out there in the universe, and bring her to Tibet. You know as well as I, Vedifenir's prophecies are never wrong.
Well, now I'm curious about who this disciple of yours will be.
All Vedifenir said was that one day, the stars shall bow in her honor.
Sounds pretty impressive.
Of course. Only the most outstanding people would have the right to become my disciple.
Still self-assured as ever, I see. But you're not wrong.
I'll be leaving then. Oh, and if you are serious about getting stronger, I left you a little gift in the primordial sea. As I've said before, walk whatever path you want. Freedom means even the wicked get to make their own choices.
Waiting for me in the primordial sea was the all-devouring narwhal, already beaten into submission by Surtalogi. In its weakened state, I was able to cut off part of its flesh and sew it into my own heart.
Your heart? That sounds like torture! How did you even survive that?
Because, of course, I bear the curse of immortality.
So, you used the curse to turn yourself into a vessel for power. Even with that whale's ability, devouring power like that is not something the human body can withstand. With your body and soul constantly at the breaking point, it was the curse of immortality that sustained you. But that is not the path to strength. You have to pour your heart into it, work for it, dream of it. Instead, you stole something that didn't belong to you, and it backfired.
You're right. I should have known better, but I had already pushed myself to my limits, and he was still miles ahead of me. so I had to take a leap of faith. I miss your master. I miss the days when we were all together, troublemakers without a home. I don't regret the choice I made. But if you'll allow it, I do want to apologize. To both of you.
After the beating we just gave you, I think we can call it even.
You're an interesting one as well. Surtalogi's disciple. That's a lot to live up to. It can't have been an easy experience. I know what he's like. He rules with an iron fist, using despair and fear to force you to catch up to him, all the while standing ever out of reach. We're like mountain climbers in the dark, never knowing how much higher we have to climb, or when we will see the sun again.
True. But I made up my mind long ago. No matter how dark it gets, I will not give in to despair. I will overcome it. Besides, after hearing your story, I suspect what Master really wants is not a battle that demands his full strength, but rather a defeat without regrets.
Oh?
Since you're his friend, you must have some things in common. The first time we came here, when you stabbed me through the fog and stole my power, I felt no emotion coming from that spike. But when you had to devote all your strength fighting me just now, I could feel joy and passion emanating from your blade. It was the joy of a researcher discovering the truth of the world, the joy of an artist uncovering a temple of wonders.
Interesting. I'm certain I didn't express those emotions outright. Yet you were able to read them from my blade, like a glimpse into my inner world. You're right. That battle brought me an unbridled sense of joy, and my defeat brings me no regret whatsoever.
Exactly. I think Master also craves a battle like that. One where his opponent forces him to use all his strength, unlock the extent of his potential, and transcend his own limits. A battle to end all battles. After which, all can come to an end, including, perhaps, his life. For that very reason, good and evil are meaningless to him. He has one purpose, one goal: to complete himself. It's one of the secrets to his strength.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps that is his goal. What a battle that would be. Oh, to witness such a...
Are you okay?
Too many different kinds of power are surging through my body. The curse of immortality allows it all to coexist, but it does not remove the pain. I won't be able to hold on to my sanity for much longer. What a shame. I would have loved to witness that battle. Surtalogi once offered to free me from this curse. Now, I must ask that of you, Skirk. Can you release me from the pain?
I can, but not through death, if that's what you are hoping for. It's not a suitable punishment for your crime. As an alternative, I can take your consciousness, along with all the power you've consumed, and smash it to pieces. The impurities will dissipate, and under the curse of immortality, your mind and body will regenerate. When that process is complete, you will be back to who you were before, no longer tortured by powers you can't control. But it will be a time-consuming and painful process. The decision is yours to make.
I accept. And who knows? Perhaps I'll wake up in time to to witness your great battle with Surtalogi. I have faith that you'll be able to stand against him one day. Though, I know it'll be a long and arduous road. If we are climbers in the dark, it appears the dawn has finally broken for me. But your ascent continues. At least, it looks like you are not alone on your journey.
I will reach the top of this mountain, no matter what it takes. And you, Skofnungr, will be my witness at the end of all things.